welcome to Mersal 3.0 tutorials. This is going to be more of an advanced tutorial. If you really aren't familiar with programming HTML or CSS, you might want to skip this section. But if you need to modify your footer or your header to change your phone number or something, I'll go ahead and go over that first, so then you can jump out. Let's go over the design section of your website. If you put your cursor over design, click views, you're going to see the view section here. It's going to say layouts. You're going to see elements. Okay, this is a little more complex, so I'm going to jump to another site that's a little simpler. This one right here. As you can see, this layout only has one default layout, and of course there's one column here. Most of our quick start sites are like that. The more advanced ones, where they are responsive, will have a lot more elements and views, because responsive, you need a lot more blocks to have the thing break down when you're mobile websites. But you can still see there's still a default, even on the more complex ones as well. And in most cases, you'll see a footer element for the responsive. But let's go back to the originals. Okay, if you need to change like your phone number or something, you'll just go to the layout section and click on the default view. All right, and then you can just scroll down, and usually it's near the bottom. You'll see your footer. Okay, now you'll notice the Mersal label here, real estate website powered by Mersal. You must leave that in. Unless you have a development agreement with Mersal, which means you have to be a developer. Otherwise, you have to leave that in. If you don't, we will come in and lock the view, and you can't get into it. So please leave that on there for us. Give us a little bit of attaboys. You also notice in here, you see the LLC part. This is where you could just simply highlight and change the text. Okay, don't mess with these tags. If you don't know what they are, just ignore them. Make sure you keep things between the tags. You can see there is an open and a close tag. The open doesn't have the / the close does. So you just change text between the tags. And that's all you'll need to do to change like phone numbers. I'll take you to the front end and you see for this website. Okay, at the bottom, you'll see this is the Mersal real estate, and then the phone number PO box. So if I just want to change it, all I'd have to do is go in here, go to where I want to change the number, and just make a change here. I'll just put an X at the end so you can see. If I save it and go back to the site and do a refresh, you'll see the X shows up at the bottom. That's all you have to do really to change it. You can see this whole number up here at the top. It's right around here at the top as well. You just have to look for it. There it is right there. You can change that one as well. Just change the text only. Between the tags, see how there's a / and there's a tag. That's the tag right there, see? So just the text. So be careful. Like I said, once again, be careful if you're changing things in the layouts, okay? We don't want to erase this. I always suggest you make a copy of it first. Select everything in it, copy it, and save it on Notepad or something. So that in case you ever do erase it, you'll have it. Because if you have to come back to us to fix it, we're going to charge you to fix it. Because this is something you really shouldn't be messing with. But if you need to, you can always right click in here. Come on, select all. There it goes. Okay, press Control A if that right click doesn't work. Just press Control A. Then press Control C to copy it. Hold down Control, press C to copy it. I'm going to bring up Notepad on this computer and I'll show you. Okay, so you can bring up something like Notepad. Then you can right click and say paste. And then there's your layout. And then make a copy of that. Save it somewhere. You know, just save as somewhere on your computer where you'll have a copy of it. Okay? Alright. That's just a good way to keep it from, and so that if you do mess this up. Another thing you can do when you're messing with your layout is to make a secondary layout and a test page. All right, so let's move on to the more advanced stuff. Now, and when you're dealing with Mersal system, you have a lot of flexibility because you can have multiple layouts like we do here. As you can see in the layout section, you have your default, you have your user, as we spoke before, and you'll see there's a lot of default home pages, and there's different layouts you can play with and build and mess with and give them like you want. Which is really handy because that gives your site a lot more flow. So you can have a left column and a right column and all that. But layouts take time and effort. So if you don't know what you're doing, like I said, you don't really want to start messing with layouts. You can always hire someone to come in and work on your layouts as well and have them, give them access and have them build. Make copies first, but have them build some other layouts for you. Elements are very helpful. Elements allow you to kind of piece and let's say, for example, you have a left column and you want to use that left column in more than one layout. That's where the elements come in. Footers, for example, are perfect for that. Your footer, you can have your footer set up and then use that footer in multiple layouts and only have to change it in one place. So if you create an element for something, you can use that element in multiple places. I use it a lot in my videos and stuff. So I'll have one element for my videos, and I can reuse that video in multiple places on my site. You can do an element for a Facebook system or a Twitter system or whatever other little plugins you might want to use, and you can reuse that code. Of course, once you have created an element, you can reuse the code by just simply grabbing the what we call the snippet of it here and just pasting that on a page. See it right there? So once you've created an element, you just use that in the code itself. So if you look on any of these layouts, you'll see the footer element right here inside the layout. I'm pulling that up and show you. Pull this down. There it is right there. See? That's all you have to do. The system will automatically embed that element into the footer. Now I don't know if you can nest elements. I don't believe you can nest elements at this time. So if you want to use it, you don't try to nest elements until we create a video showing you to do so. All right. That's pretty much all there is really to the design system. There's also the email template system. Email templates are used so that if you wish to override things like the as the Mersal system, someone comes in and they say, oh, I want to override my user registration form template. You can do that. First thing you'll have to do is clone it. Once you've cloned it, it will create a copy. Okay? Because these are actually just our defaults. So once you clone it, it will create a copy. Then you can go back in. And then you can see user registration. And it no longer has a clone button, so now you can edit it. And then you can now edit this. Your type is HTML. These are placeholders, and then they usually will show you if there's a list of them you can use, what placeholders, date, etc. here. That means the system will replace that with the company name. That's in the settings, which we spoke about before, in your preference settings, where you can edit all that. You see here, this is the body. You notice there's two tabs, HTML and text, because there's two versions. Your clients can decide which one they want to receive. So make sure you edit both, okay? Okay, now notice that the hello username, so there's a placeholder for username. And then you can just write up what you wish. Make sure you use the verify URL. Make sure you put that in there somewhere. And you can use your domain as well as signature here, okay? Just so they'll have access to it. Something else to note, with this WYSIWYG, if you're using the HTML mode, you can click here to just view the source. Okay, this will show you the source right here. And that way you can see the source and modify it directly. Or copy it out, modify it, then paste it back in and save it. Okay, but that's pretty much how you edit the templates. And we will be adding more templates with our new email system comes. So you'll see more and more templates coming up. That's where you edit them at. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to the design section. If you run into any issues and you have a coder doing some layouts for you, custom layouts, and you need some other things done like gliders and stuff, all you need to do is put in a work order ticket, support@mersal.com, and ask us to create a widget for you. And we can do that. Sometimes there's a cost depending if we've already written it or not. But that's pretty much it.